What are we doing today, Jen?
We are cycling up the iconic Alpe du Zwift, and my legs are not feeling 100%. So we've just come down all 21 bends. The tour is actually leaving from where we are now at Borg du Zwift. It's leaving here today for the next stage, but so it's really busy. The descent wasn't too bad. We got stuck behind a truck, but apart from that, it's not. But you do have to wear layers because it's cold, so I've popped them all the way. Kept my armour on, so it's still really shady down here, like except from this little bit. It's in here because it's nice and warm. So yeah, just gonna see how this goes because it's the first time in a while that we've done the full Alp. And then at the top as well, we'll do a little bit of comparison between what's the difference between the real thing and Alpe du Zwift, because really that's all we have to do practice at home with, because we don't have Alps. So yeah, it's gonna take our time for the first try. Got my Alpe du Zwift jersey on from Cycloes. Check them out if you're ever here. They do really good jerseys. Go. But we've just gone through those, so we're pretty much at the top. And I always think the top's hardest because it's open to the sun, but at least it's not as steep as the bottom. So we made a friend on the way up. We just pulled him all the way, and he just peeled off. So he did very well.
Electric bike, is it electric?
Sorry?
On the electric bike?
Yeah, there's no battery. Looking forward to getting to the top. Although there's a market, so we won't get to the top, but so as you can tell, from the sweaty mess that I am, I've just completed the Alpe du Zwift climb. It's not my first time up it. I felt like I was going much slower, just because I felt like my legs were heavy at the bottom, but actually like once you start going it's fine. But I did look just as my Strava connected obviously when I got in, and I think I PR'd on pretty much every corner, like bend to bend, so the only thing is I can't be completely 100% sure for the whole climb. I have to go through the analysis a little bit better. On Fridays, which is a Friday today, Alpe du Zwift have a market, so just bear that in mind. If you are going to come up and it's your first time and only time, don't do it on a Friday, because you can't actually get up through to the first finish line, because there's like the actual segment of Alpe du Zwift finishes at that point there, or there's the tour finish further up. So they barricade that off just underneath. You have to go round, so we had to kind of twiddle around and then run through, you know, like to cycle through the market, so we had our bikes and just ran through. So just bear that in mind. But I think I did PR, even though it was hot. Felt like a much slower for like last couple of bends just because of the heat. Other than that, compared to Zwift, it's like Zwift is probably going to be the closest you're actually going to get to the real thing. I mean, there are things like, for example, for me, I will never be able, from Scotland, be able to stimulate that kind of heat and, you know, simulate that in my room. Like even when it's a hot day in Scotland with that and no fan or anything, that's probably a good way to train, but it's not going to be the same as that intensity of heat. Other things, altitude. So altitude up here is, you're sitting at 1,800 odd meters up. So yeah, that's another little thing that I would definitely recommend staying here a few days or doing some other climbs to acclimatise if you're wanting to do like a mental time up Alpe du Zwift. But yeah, it just means that when the further you get up, it's a little bit more hard. Again, that's not something that you're going to be able to replicate at home, unless you're like, I don't know, have an altitude room or a tent or something, but the most average Joes don't have that. The only one thing that you're definitely not going to be able to get on your Zwift is the views. So much better here. Like, at least if you're struggling in pain or hot or whatever, you just look over and you see these incredible views, and just that makes it all worthwhile. That you can just sit and wait and, you know, churn up and then look over your shoulder, and there's these amazing views. So yeah, most of the tour fans have all gone. There's one or two hardcore people still left, but other than that, the Alp was pretty free. We left pretty early to get down to when it's nice and cool. The stage of this today are leaving from Borg, so it's quite busy and hustly bustly, so we couldn't get through that either. And then we came back up, so it was just the big buses from all the teams coming down and the tour cars, so that was quite cool. We also met a little guy who was going up on a mountain bike with no battery. Kudos to him. So yeah, he would have had to take that weight. He was an Italian guy, so yeah, he was nice and friendly. But we lost him just at the final beds. I shouted down to him to give him encouragement, but yeah, that was just at the top. I think that's pretty much it. I am going to get showered, changed, and go and see the market. Might as well, like, because it's stopped me. I am probably, the time we've got another week to go, so I probably will do Alpe du Zwift just one more time on a cooler day, as well as not a Friday, just so I can get that final little segment, and I'll probably do the tour finish as well. It's just a couple more bends up to the top, but the weather here has just been really good, so yeah, gonna just chill for a bit, eat some food. Definitely take water with you, like 2 bottles, because you'll need it, but don't worry if you run out. There are, I think it's like Corner 16's got a cafe, so that's always good to stop if you need to stop. I did it all the way up without stopping. I just like to do that mentally, because I think once I've stopped it, my legs scream and it's a bit too hard. So yeah, but there are refill water stations all the way up, like for hill walkers here and stuff, and for cycling. They've got these like flowing water into big troughs and stuff. It's great for just being able to fill up a bidon and carry on. So don't worry and don't get too kind of in your head about not drinking, because you need to hydrate. I would also recommend electrolytes in your bottles, because with that heat and that duration, you're just sweating. So yeah, but yeah, I'm gonna go and lie down.